some parties at the conflict did not trust the neighboring country's neutrality in the conflict.
And
so first it's a lack of trust towards Egypt. Second, the 1700s...
This is a principle. This is a principle.
Okay, the 1700s
it's all over the world.
are not protecting civilians in Darfur because they are not in Darfur. This is a promise in the air for the moment. I'm waiting for the result and then I will judge. For the moment, it's a promise in the air. And Egypt itself...
How in the air? This is documented.
Stopped the UN
this is
resolutions.
Between the United Nations and the Egyptian government.
It was a major obstacle to the UN resolution calling for sending troops to Darfur under UN. It postponed this resolution for months and months.
The issue of Darfur and Sudan is very complex because the Sudan is a country, the people of which are partly Arabs and partly non-Arabs. And in my view, they have to live together. And if the Arabs only support the Arab section of the Sudanese population, and the non-Arab supports the non-Arab, we will always have a conflict.
Okay,
the problem is that the Sudan government, has a
We're going to move on because we've got a lot of questions here. Lady at the fifth row. Lady at the fifth row. You, please. You've had your hand up for a while. Yes, you. Thank you.
I'd like to ask this question to Mr. Nadeem. What political reasons do you think the Arab nations might have for not providing sufficient aid to ease the Darfur crisis? Thank you.
It's a very simple principle. It's been going on for 30 years. My dictatorship protects your dictatorship. That's the principle. Why? Because when you kill your people, you don't want me to come and ask you why are you killing them. Why? Because when I want to kill my people, I don't want you to come and asking me what I'm doing with my people. It's that simple. It's unfortunately not more complicated than that. That's the main problem.
Okay, lady, a little further along from you.
I've heard a lot of mention of money coming from all of you, and it's probably the only set of numbers that you have given us that we can count on. So I'm asking about finance and how you believe that because a country can sign a check, they're supporting or caring. Is that your definition of caring? Can money actually change mentalities? And if those people actually supported you financially, are they people that you can count on to save Darfur?
Ambassador, would you like to answer that one?
Well, no.
Zaid al-Saban. I don't know why you're shying away from money.
I'm not trying. I want her. No, excuse me.
But Ambassador, do you measure help? Do you measure help from your fellow Arab states by the amount of money that they give you, they offer you?
This
is the basis of the question that I think you're asking.
It is not all the money. We received money. We received political support. We received the encouragement. The media in the Arab world interfered and corrected the record and straightened the record about the lies and the vicious circles of organizations like ICJ and others who talk about Sudan. I mean, they just compile reports from everywhere and then they put it and print it nicely and distribute it over very nice websites all over the world.
Ambassador, you've called his reports nonsense. Let him reply.
Mr. Ambassador. No, I insist. I have a documentary with me that was filmed in Darfur.
ICJ doesn't have anything.
Sure.
I don't have...
So it's on the website.
Can we just let him finish?
It's on the website, on the Darfur page on our website.
I have their website. I can go into it.
Please.
I know what they want.
Let me tell you the story. Let me tell you. It's called, the documentary filmed by Al Arabiya TV channel. Everybody here knows Arabiya TV channel. It's called Jihad al Jihad, Jihad on Horseback. It was filmed in Darfur, in refugee camps. You can see the refugee camps. They are Arabs. They didn't lie. It was never aired. I have it in my hands. It's on the web. It was never aired because President Bashir called the cabinet of King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia and told him, please, do not let this documentary go out. You know why? Because if you see the documentary, you and me will start crying when we see it.
How do you prove that, Bashir?
How do I prove what?
Were you there?
It was on the Arabiya website. No, it was on the Arabiya website. They said we are facing pressure not to air it.
Please. And if you could kindly not all talk at the same time, I'd be awfully grateful. Gentleman on the front row there. Thank you. You, sir.
Logical statements need simple reasoning. Unlogical statements need strong justification.
Could we have a question, please?
Yes, the question. How come that the government kills their own people?
This is a good question. How come a government kills its own people? Yeah, would the government of Egypt kill the Egyptians and the government of Sudan kill the Sudanese and so forth?
Yes.
It is a statement a statement that is said by people like ICJ.
It's a question.
By the opposition.
Do you want to answer it, Ambassador? It's a
so
question.
no government kills its own people.
Saddam Hussein
usually
killed his own people.
Yeah.
Didn't he? Yeah. Wasn't he Arab? He killed his own people. In the north and in the south.
Are you sure of that?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
In Sudan, is there a military force other than the Sudanese army who has Antonov planes to bomb villages?
Iraq is not Darfur.
No. Wait.
Who has the bombs?
There is no comparison between Iraq and
No, please. You had your question.
It's an Arab country.
Would you let me finish my statement? Except in one way. According to the U.S. policy, 1 minute on Darfur in the media is 2 minutes less on Iraq. It is an issue that is meant to distract the public opinion in the world.
You're not serious, are you?
Yes, I'm serious.
You're not serious.
I'm serious about it. I'm serious. Yes, I'm serious about it. Yes. Raise the issue, talk about Darfur, because there is no issue in Darfur, then this is 2 minutes less on the issue of Iraq. The issue of Darfur is an internal issue in the American politics. Why? Why isn't the issue of Gaza and the Israelis bombarding, killing the Palestinians every day became an internal issue of the American politics? Why? Ask yourself this question.
All right, okay. Lady in the third row.
Good evening. My question is directed at Mr. Nadeem. How are the Arabs supposed to help and know about the Darfur crisis if the government is oppressing them, it's deceiving them through media, and it's encouraging them to turn a blind eye on such issues?
That's, you just put your finger on the wound. That's the problem. The Sudanese government succeeded in 4 years of complete media blackout not to allow the Arab people like you and me to know what's happening. And now they can have Mr. Ambassador saying, oh, nothing is happening. Because when you want to try as a journalist to get a visa to go film in Darfur, you won't get the visa. You won't go there. You'll have a guided tour if you go there. You'll have the intelligence walking with you if you're filming there.
Nadeem,
so what do you do?
2 millions are going, are crossing the borders every day, and you know who is now, while we are talking, who is in Darfur filming, and so it is so easy to go
June
to
2006, the Hayat correspondent was jailed.
Can you just...
End of 2003, Jazeera correspondent was jailed. The Jazeera office was closed for 1 year in Khartoum because of that.
This is not the problem. What is happening in Darfur, we all know what is happening in Darfur.
So something is happening in Darfur.
Of course.
Then we agree on something. I'm very happy about that.
Of course.
Because Mr. Ambassador says nothing is happening. Only 9,000 people killed. Only 9,000 people killed.
Did you say nothing is happening in Darfur? Never. Don't put words on his tongue.
He did say 9,000.
No. This is another story. In Darfur, there is a crisis.
I think it's part of the same story, but
a civil war, and all of us, we know it. And this was a responsibility of the League of Arab States to say what is happening, and we did.
All right.
We did our report.
Okay, Zaid Al Saban, thank you very much.
There is one last point.
You
there is free
have one
access to
last
Darfur.
point.
Zaid, you can go.
My visa was rejected by your embassy, Mr. Ambassador. Please, which access? My own visa was rejected.
Okay.
In a very rude way, it was rejected.
It's not a visa. You can go behind in Chad, still children.
No, I want to go illegality. Thank you.
Could we please, gentlemen, have one more question? Lady in the second row, you. Yes, please.
Good evening, everyone. Since the beginning of this, let's say, debate, you were saying, Mr. Nadeem, that there is no media. The government, the Sudanese government, is not providing any media, so no one knows what's going on there. Well, let me tell you something. How come? How are you saying so if we are all sitting down here today and knowing exactly what's going on? How can you tell that? And apparently, you